Hi, thanks for tuning in. I'm Selena and welcome to my channel. Starting this July, there will be a lot of new launches in the CCR like the Robertson Opus, Upper House, River Green, Promenade Peak, and one more plot of land at Zion. A total of 5 launches in the CCR. Is it going to be an oversupply or undersupply? Let's dive into this new launch project, the Robertson Opus. I'm very excited about this project because it's a 999 years project and people will be buying for own stay and for well preservation. I will start off with the project information of the Robertson Opus, site plan and unit mix analysis, floor plan analysis, supply of each unit type, and my verdict of this project. The Robertson Opus, formerly known as the Robertson Walk, is a mixed-use development located along Unity Street in D9 by the developers Frasers Property and Sekisui House. 5 blocks of 9 to 10 stories with 348 residential units and 26 retail units. Estimated TOP 2030. Nearest MRT, Fort Canning MRT. It's actually very rare for a decent-sized 999 years project to be near MRT. For this project, there's definitely no view, but its location is definitely worth considering. Here's a few artist impression of the development. Let's move on to the site plan and unit mix analysis. A total of 5 blocks, blocks 7, 9, 11 and 13, where all the bigger units are. And for block 15, all the suites and 1 bedroom will be housed there. I kind of like this idea because all the tenants will be grouped together. For this block 15, it will have a high ceiling of 3.225 meters, which will make the suite look bigger and more livable. From here, you can actually see there's a 65% of investment comprising of suite, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 2 bedroom plus study, and 35% is for own stay, comprising of 3 bedroom flexi, which is like a 3 bedroom plus study, and 4 bedroom premium. It is interesting to note that majority of the units are 2 bedroom. This can be used for investment purpose or own stay. Young couple who just got started may want to forgo 1 bedroom in the CCR and RCR and move to CCR 2 bedroom. So please be reminded that to make money, you have to think about your exit strategy. It's easy to buy, but think of your resale buyers, where they are coming from. Moving on to floor plan analysis. For the suite, the floor area is 431 square feet. There are 2 layouts, but they are actually quite similar, except for a small protruding part, which is here. All units face outwards and come with a high ceiling of 3.225 meters. For 1 bedroom, floor area of 495 square feet, all units face inwards. For this reason, I would prefer the suite. We are expecting the PSF to be higher than the suite. Suite and 1 bedrooms are usually popular choices for investment. They are typically in higher demand thanks to their affordability and strong rental appeal. Future buyers will most likely be investors who will be looking at rental yield, and these hugely influence the resale price. When rental demand is strong, it supports both steady income and future capital appreciation. Hence, it is important to study the supply of an area. Let's look at the supply of 1 bedroom in Marina Bay. Out of the 282 units, there are actually 36% of 1 bedroom. I consider this percentage to be very high, and it's actually quite scary to me. Let's look at the supply of 1 bedroom in River Valley. It has 2,174 and only 12% is 1 bedroom. These projects are all 999 projects or freehold projects. So personally, I think River Valley is more for own stay. There may be agent telling you that lower supply means higher rental yield. I don't think it's entirely true. So it's actually important to study the demand of that demographic area. Now let me show you the rental yield. As you can see, Marina Bay, which has a supply of 36%, the rental yield is actually higher than River Valley, which has a supply of 12%. River Valley's rental yield is only at 3%. So of course you can say that River Valley has a higher quantum, that's why the rental yield is lower. But if you look at the absolute rental quantum, it's actually higher than River Valley. So which is a better choice if you are looking for investment, suite or 1 bedroom? For suite, as I mentioned, they are all external facing, so I will give them a rough estimate of 3,002 per square feet. It works out to be 1.379 million. And as for the 1 bedroom, because it's facing internally, I'll give a higher PSF of 3,250. So it works out to be 1.608 million. Besides the difference in floor area, as you can see, the difference is a wider kitchen for the suite and the lack of dividing wall between the living room and the bedroom. So if you are aiming for higher rental yield, I would recommend the suite. To me, Robertson Opus is more for own stay. Let's make a cross comparison of the 2-bedroom in River Green. The 2-bedder compact of River Green is 527 square feet, and because it's leasehold, I'm giving it a lower PSF of 2008 and it works out to be 1.475. So just by paying slightly more, you can get a higher rental yield in River Green as it is a 2-bedder. Now, I'm not saying that the suite at Robertson Opus cannot buy, but if you like the 99 years status, the lifestyle, the proximity to Singapore River, please go for it. Moving on to the 2-bedder, there are a few sizes ranging from 689 square feet to 743 square feet. The smallest 689 is a 2-bed, 2-bath dumbbell unit. This is an efficient use of space with no wastage of space. So with every square feet of 3,200, every square feet will actually be a very huge savings. The next size that we have after the 689 is 710. This is 21 square feet more, so you're actually paying 70k more. From this layout, you can see the kitchen is glass and it's enclosable here, and the glass will make the kitchen looks bright. So you'll notice that this is enclosable is good to have because later on you will see that the 2-bedders has only kitchenette. Next size up is 710. This is the classic type where the bedrooms are all tucked to one side. As you enter the unit here, the kitchen is along the walkway. It is bigger than the 689, but the actual unit of 689 actually looks better. The walls are non-PPVC, which means they are hackable. Do note that this is a non-harmonized project, so aircon latch is actually taken into consideration. The next type will be the 721 square feet. They both look the same, but they are actually not. Type B1, the kitchen is bigger. It has window in the kitchen because it's a corner unit with high ceiling. This will be quite nice. And then for the B4, it's internal facing and the kitchenette is bigger and there's no window. Then the B5 and the B6. There's a kitchenette with long foyer. So the concern I have is actually this kitchen and this dining here. I'm not sure how you're going to enclose the kitchen without compromising on the dining space. 743 square feet. This is the biggest 2-bedroom with study. It looks like 689, but this has a study room here. For an extra 54 square feet, you would have to pay 170k more. So you decide if this is worth it. So my two top choice for 2-bedroom will be the dumbbell unit, the Type B2 689 square feet and Type B1 721 square feet, the Premier Collection. Assuming the 689 square feet to be at 3,250 per square feet, it will work out to be 2.2 million. And because the Type B1 is bigger, let's assume it's at 3,300 per square feet. It will work out to be 2.379. A difference of 50 square feet will give you about 140k difference. Now let's assume $100 per square feet difference, 3,350, and in absolute term it will be 2.4 mil, and the difference will work out to be 175. If it's really a difference of 100 per square feet, I will absolutely recommend you to go for the 721. But anything more than 200k difference, I think you should consider. So let's make a comparison of River Green, the first plot of land that will be launched in River Valley. Just to note that I'm not here to compare or to tell you that River Green is better, but I am sure that some of you will be wondering, River Green 3-bedroom compact at 2008 per square feet, it works out only to be 2.2 mil. So should I choose River Green instead? What I would say is buyer for Opus will not be attracted to River Green because Opus is a 999 years lease. So those looking for River Green, they will not look at Opus because of the higher price and smaller size. So River Green to them is actually a good entry price. So what I'm trying to say is you don't have to worry about your exit plan for the 2-bedder. There will be 2 groups of people. However, do note that there's no difference for the 1-bedroom. They will most likely be the same group of the people. Let's move on to the 3-bedroom analysis. For the 3-bedroom, the smaller size is 926 square feet and it's still livable with windows in all the right places. The wall here can be hacked to make the living room bigger. The difference between the 926 and the 980 is actually the balcony here in the master bedroom. So the 980 has 2 balconies, and then you see the 926, there's no balcony in the master bedroom. So that's the difference. For the 1012, 1023 and 1044, the foyer is bigger and it has 2 balconies. So you decide if you want to pay for an extra balcony in the master bedroom. I would say there's confirmed no view because it's very near to the next block. Then we have this 3-bedroom dual flex. This is like a dual key, but it's not the usual dual key that we see in the market. To me, it doesn't make sense because of the aircon location. But let's say you want to buy it and then you want to rent it out as a co-living. Then assuming the 1-bedroom to be 4,000 and then the 2-bedroom to be 5,500, the total rental you can collect is 9,500. Rental yield is at 3%. If let's say we assume they're selling 3,200 per square feet or 990 square feet, right? So you get a rental yield of 3.6. I'm not sure how many buyers will pay 3.168 million to get a rental yield of 3.6. There are, I mean, you guys will know there are actually lower entry price for the same rental yield. The 3-bedroom premium is a 1152 square feet. Over here, you can hack the wall of this bedroom to make the living room bigger, and this flexi room here, the wall, it can be hacked as well, so you will have a very big master bedroom. You can make this into an enclosed wardrobe. So if you look at the glass panel in the kitchen, when you cook, you can actually close this. Otherwise, it can be opened up totally, and this whole space will be very good when you have guests over. It's more of a lifestyle living. The supply for this area is low and demand is high, and because it's a 999, you can actually hold it longer. So the top choice for the 3-bedroom will be the 1152 square feet and the 926 square feet. Let's look at the supply of 3-bedroom. At the time of this filming, there are only 29 units of 3-bedroom. I'm not sure like how many is actually duplicate listing. Rivergate is about 16 years. And Avinia here is newer. Aspen and UE Square are all old ones. So the asking is about 3.19 to 4.22. So the 1152 square feet is going to be in demand. It's a rare unit in Opus and even more rare in the whole River Valley. So if you're a seller, you can ask for a ridiculous price, but then again, it will take time to sell. Let's look at the 4-bedroom. Very nice layout. The bedroom 4 here, the wall can be hacked to make into a big living space, and then you still have 3 bedrooms where you can fit proper size bed. For Opus, there are only 9 units, so very rare. One concern I'm not sure is if it is very near to the opposite block. The supply of 4-bedroom is there are only 15 units in the resale. Avinia is pretty new and it's about 2,000 square feet. The asking price is 8 mil. So what's my opinion of this project? A 999 years project, people will usually view it as a capital appreciation asset. It's more ideal for buyers who want to hold it for a long-term value and also for homestay because of the comfort. But if you are seeking high rental yield, maybe you want to consider other projects which are coming up in River Valley as well. That's all for today. If you have questions on Opus or any other projects, do reach out to me. And you found this to be useful, please like and subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Bye.